There are 2 days that 1st and 2nd Thessalonians talks about. It talks about the day of Christ, and it talks about the day of the Lord. Now, you may say in your mind, Christ is the Lord is Christ. What difference does it make? Well, that's why we have a mistranslation in 2 Thessalonians chapter 2. Because some scribe along the way said, day of the Lord, day of Christ, doesn't make any difference. Somebody didn't teach this guy, and so he writes in the place of the day of the Lord, the day of Christ. What difference does it make? All the difference in the world. Because, very quickly, rapture of the church, that's the day of Christ. Tribulation and second coming is all included in the day of the Lord. It's a big difference. We need to understand the difference. So when you look at your notes, and I've just tried to assimilate a lot of facts and figures here for you, but when you read about the day of Christ, it's a day of blamelessness. You have all the passages there. I don't have time to go into all of them. It's a day of final salvation for all church-age believers. It's a day of glory and rejoicing. It's a day of redemption. It's a day of completion. It's a day of deliverance. We just saw that in 1 Thessalonians 1:10. It's the day of resurrection and reunion for church-age believers. It's a day of eternal reward. Is there anything in that that sounds bad to you? Doesn't that sound like a great day? The day of Christ. Now look at the way the Bible describes the day of the Lord. The day of the Lord comes as a thief in the night. We're going to see that next hour. You know what amazes me? I hear Christians all the time say, well, you know, the Lord's going to come as a thief in the night. And I always say, not for me, he's not. No way. He's only coming as a thief in the night for unsaved people. When a thief comes in the night, is that a good thing for you? Say, hey, Myrtle, I just heard the door crash in. I think we got a thief in the house. All right, let's party. No, it's bad news. You don't want the Lord coming as a thief in the night. Thief in the night is, of course, tribulation terminology. It's a day of reckoning and judgment, particularly on the nation of Israel. You can go back to Jeremiah 30, verse 7, Joel 1:15, Joel 2:1 and 2, Amos 5:18-20, Obadiah 15, Micah 3:6 and 4:6, Zephaniah 1:7 through 15, Zechariah 14:1-15, Malachi 4:1-6. You know, the one word that you will read in those passages over and over and over, you know what it is? You ready for it? Here it comes. Wrath. The day of the Lord is a day of wrath. When Paul uses the day of the Lord, he is using Old Testament terminology. He's reaching back into the Old Testament and laying hold of a term that anybody that ever read the Old Testament would be familiar with, and it is terrifying. The day of the Lord is the day when God judges the earth. You know how bad it's going to be? Every unbeliever is going to die in flaming fire. Zechariah defines the day of the Lord as an army standing there to resist the Lord, and all of a sudden, while they're standing there, their flesh melts from their bones, their eyes melt out of their sockets, their tongues melt out. In other words, it is so ferocious and so fast, before the body can even fall down, it's like this guy's a melting candle. That's wrath. And you don't want to be in that day. Now, when you understand that this term wrath was a one-word summary for the day that God judges the earth, You'll understand when Paul says, excuse me, in chapter 1, verse 10, who delivers us from the wrath to come. You know what that says? That says the rapture must occur before the tribulation period. The day of the Lord is a designation for the day of wrath or the tribulation period. The wrath is the outpouring. The word that's used for wrath, by the way, is orge. There are two words for wrath in the Greek language, two main words. And one of them is thumos. And thumos means that you are just about to blow a fuse. If you've ever seen anyone that was so angry they couldn't even talk and they're fuming and it's like there's smoke coming out of their ears, that's thumos. That is emotional anger. There's an anger that's a lot worse than that. Orge is, I'm going to beat the blah, blah out of you. And I'm sorry, thumos, that's thumos, the emotional anger. Orge is, give it your best shot. Let's see what you got. You want to go? You better watch out. Orge. Now imagine God. Orge. Imagine his wrath. It's going to be a terrifying thing.